You're in the meadow.
Yeah, yeah. So we are approaching Albuquerque, New Mexico, and yeah, it's been quite a long drive through um, from the Baba Center actually. So I was at the Baba Center for about 4 days, twice as long as I thought. Um, so I'd driven across the country. I reached the Baba Center, and then I went into the little cabin to check it out. I came back, you know, half hour later, something like that, getting stuff from the car. And I noticed that I had a flat tire, completely flat. So somehow I just driven in across the country,
Wow.
4,000 miles plus the trip to Florida. So I don't know, maybe 5,000 miles or something. And yet the tire, it lasted all that distance, but it rested over there. Um, so I had a feeling to stay, a little bit longer, and that also kind of enforced it because there's also a part of me like, hi, let's get up and go, we're just gonna stay a night or something, and then we're gonna, move on. But yeah, it had to stop, and then it also wasn't easy, repairing the tire. Then the guy who repaired it, he left to go back, and then the car was kind of stuck over there, and um, so I was just like, okay, we're gonna be here. It was quite a magical experience being there. I felt yeah, a lot of energy, a lot going on. Like as soon as I stepped foot in the center, um, and I continued to feel that throughout and on the last day as well. Um, so a lot of grace, that space enabling um, some inner work to be done over there. So I definitely appreciated all the time there. Um, and yeah, quite a long drive, basically from the Baba Center to Florida, and it's like especially coming across like Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, um, kind of like a long and uneventful drive. Um, I got out in Mississippi, at a rest stop, and I asked, anything to see over there, and they're like, nope, nothing to see over here, like nothing in the whole state. Yeah, all right, might as well just keep going. But I think this is going to be a little bit more interesting before I go back to California. This area, I think there's more here. Um, there's going to be Chaco Canyon, which is nearby Albuquerque, so something to learn a little bit more about and explore. There's some Native American ruins over there. So I'll just show where we are over here. Let's see. All right. This is kind of interesting because it's been completely flat for what feels like thousands of miles. And then as we're approaching Albuquerque, it's like the first thing that isn't flat in all of that time. So there's there's a mountain range over there. And see if we're just on the side of the road, those trucks aren't so fun to see. But yeah, on the other side of those trucks, there's also a bunch of mountains. So it's definitely it's kind of welcoming for me after that whole trip, and I feel better being in places where there are more mountains than places that are just entirely flat. So that's me. And yeah, and I guess yeah for the other folks here, for Jen, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
Doing good. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I was motivated to check out local Native American um,
Ah,
things, and
okay.
just a couple miles from my house is a cave that was occupied um, 12,000 years ago, I think
No way. Well,
yeah,
that's a long time.
yeah. So, um,
And were you in North Carolina? Or remind me where you were?
oh, it's Goshen, New York.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm originally from New York. I've been to Goshen before.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
And I've been to Dobbs Ferry before too.
wild. Okay. So we know those areas. Yeah, I just passed through there earlier before the Mayor Center. Yeah, Dobbs Ferry. Wow. Okay. That's that's pretty cool. Yeah, because I used to we used to kind of go up that way in the summers. Um, so I spend quite a few summers, around generally around that area. So that's something.
You went to the
Okay.
Catskills?
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
every summer for a
Yeah.
while.
Very
So
nice. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time there. Oh, amazing. All right. I just realized that I'm sitting down on this grass and I realized next to me there are these cactuses over there. So I'm glad I didn't sit down on that. It's like
Yes.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
as fun.
It's a good idea to look around first. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. So let's begin our meditation to prepare. Let's see what we can do. Let's stand up a little bit. Let's make some arm circles, get the energy flowing. Do some side to sides here. Just stretching out. Yeah, I know for me, like in this long car ride, I kind of came here without a problem, just driving like, really long hours a day. But finally here yesterday, I started getting, some neck tension, I guess, from all of that seated posture. So it's also good for me to, get out, stretch a little bit. I'll do some head circles, some head rolls. And then I've been wanting to do like a little bit more stretching too. And for those who are, yeah, comfortable, we can do um, the full wheel here. And for those who are less, we can just kind of do a baby wheel or half wheel. But you put your hands kind of behind your ears, and then you can just go up on your shoulders, and that could be it. And feeling some nice stretch in the thighs. If you're more adventurous, you can kind of go up to your head. And if you're more adventurous, you can push up and kind of do a little full wheel. It's good to stretch out the back. All right. So yeah, for those who want, we can also do some push-ups. That's definitely a valid way to, get the energy moving, get some muscles activated. You can do some regular push-ups. Just a few. There's all these variations of the push-ups where you kind of put your hands together into a star. That works different muscles. So, okay, do a few more arm circles here. Loosen out. From running, there's some stretches I still use sometimes. One of them is just this quad stretch, simple kind of quad stretch, stretching the thighs. And do one of those. And another simple stretch that I use frequently is just useful to loosen out the back because I have scoliosis. but also in general, it's good. I like this one before bed as well, just to stretch everything out before going to sleep. Is just the simple back stretch, like the simplest one you can do, where you have your feet kind of shoulders width apart, and you just slowly come down. You don't really overdo it. You kind of just hang and just hang for a few seconds, and that's loosening out the back of the legs, loosening out the back, the lower back. Just a basic helpful stretch to do, and sometimes the basic ones are some of the best ones. Okay, so
Also
moving
nice
to
to
our
do.
meditation. Go
Uh,
ahead.
yeah, also nice to do is a backward stretch, standing on your heels
Uh-huh.
and let the weight of your shoulders and arms um, help to arc your back backwards too. That's very soothing.
Interesting. All right, so that's one I haven't done before. Let's let's see. It's kind of like this is what you're talking about, like just kind
Yep.
of leaning back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And keep your weight in your heels.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice little stretch.
Thank you. That was a good little uh, uh, round of stretching.
Yeah. So some of what I've been working on lately is, and these car rides have been good for that too, is when these kind of negative emotions come up, it starts the thoughts rolling, and then I say, okay, I'm gonna, not get into the thoughts. I'm gonna let them release, let the emotions release, and then going into the feeling and see if it can bubble up, and asking for support in that process to say, let these kind of resolve, let them come out. Um, so Jen, has there been any like emotions or things that you've been maybe coming up for you, or that you've been trying to release or let go of?
Oh, sure. Uh, Very frequent anger and vengeful feelings of and again I try to just replace them with good feelings for Baba and also the impersonal beyond God, you know, um, because I find if I go with them, like uh, it just kind of increases them, um, and I think that's the kind of the latest research too, is that venting your negative feelings doesn't actually um, lessen them. It increases them. So, which makes sense, that uh, you're giving
Mm,
them energy instead of trying to dissipate them or scatter them, and replace them. It's a lot like, I guess, the beneficial bacteria in your gut. If you feed them, they'll crowd out the bad ones.
mhm. Okay.
So that,
And
that
for
that's my
I guess,
method.
yeah, no, and for the dissipation part, what are you trying, or what have you read?
Oh, I uh, start with Baba's name. You know, um,
Hmm.
try to do it with each inhale and exhale, and uh, and and ask for his blessing of love. Um, which is really the ultimate, I think, for um, for just burning the uh, the negative emotions of greed and especially anger for me. I get so angry at the news uh, that yeah, yeah. Being loving
Okay.
is for me is
All right, cool.
the path.
So so yeah, without further ado, let's do some meditation. And with any luck, we can get into those emotions. Hopefully there's some negative emotions, anger, other emotions that are waiting for us. And yeah, let's invite those emotions to come in and be expressed and wish for ourselves that we have the fortitude to be able to, release those release those emotions, call in, Baba where you can for his support to get the support that we need in our process. So we can close our eyes. I'm going to chant Om a couple of times. You don't have to chant Om, but if you want, you can, and we'll get focused internally.
Um,
Om. All right. So with our attention, we'll go into the body. We'll see what's going on there, and inviting any negative emotions to come up. We're ready for them. Not afraid of them. We're interested in seeing what kind of negativity and intensity they might have, what they're gonna offer us today. Yeah, I'm hoping one's gonna come. I think I'm feeling maybe a touch of anxiety. I think that's what this kind of flavor is for me right now. And a nice little tension feeling in the chest. And I mean, for me, it's not yet, overwhelming feeling. Maybe it's just the beginning of a larger feeling, or maybe it's just kind of the way it is. Jen, are you feeling any negative emotions yet, or they're still coming for you?
Actually, I'm feeling quite serene after
Okay.
those relaxing exercises. They're very helpful,
Yeah.
actually.
All
Uh,
right. Cool.
they're a good antidote.
Okay. So we'll see that what comes up. Sometimes it's funny. It's like the more you watch for something, um, either it could come up less, or if it does come up, you have another perspective on it, so you don't get fully into it. And it might not peak to such a level of intensity if you're kind of cutting it off at the pass. But yeah, that's a good thing. So this means we're more in control of the situation emotionally. Um, and I am feeling, something in the chest. And now, like, some of the emotions kind of bleed into each other. Now maybe it's even more of a feeling of excitement necessarily rather than anxiety, and those emotions can sometimes translate into each other. And waiting to see if we feel anything else, something, something different. It's funny. I'm smiling because it is, there's something like a little bit comical about talking about, the emotions, but I think it like sheds some light on them, it exposes them for what, for what they are. And, in some ways in some ways they're deep, but in other ways they actually act very simplistically and kind of, fool us into getting absorbed into them and thinking they're so like complicated and smart and all of that. But they come, they have some triggers, I can start getting angry, we can start getting angry and whatever else, or start feeling, down or whatnot. Um, but it is just, the feeling or variations, the feeling coming up and, getting us pulled into it when, when we don't need to be. So see if other emotions coming up. Yeah, invite some sadness to come up. We could find some of that in there. But let's see if we can find it. It's not there right now. Yeah, I still don't really see it. And it could be, as I'm kind of getting, more into this more refreshing area, that it's kind of lifting things a little bit. So yeah, I mean, to get those negative emotions, yeah, we might have to set the stage a little bit better and uh yeah, not be out in a nice field next to New Mexico. You might have to find some darker places to get that mood going, to work with some of those emotions. But I guess that's okay. And what we could try is like intentionally thinking about something negative and trying to stir that up, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. I'm more just kind of enjoying um, where I am at the moment.
Yeah, same here. Like, let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it happens often enough. The anger, that to be free of it, even temporarily, is very nice. So, um,
Mhm. I experienced this other thing, the other day. Um, was actually feeling it last week, and it was this kind of calming, um, sort of a calming energy that I was able to bring in. So it was just kind of a chillness, sort of like the best I can explain is like a chill vibe. So almost like sort of a little cool breeze coming through the brain, just kind of chilling everything out. And just gave a couple minutes of chillness. So we can try that here. Um, so if you like, you can have the intention, all of the intention for everybody to. We're gonna call in this chill vibe, or just kind of chill down the brain a little bit and get us nice and relaxed for a couple of minutes, starting now. So feel your brain kind of really chilling out. just kind of, releasing any thoughts, really calming down, just slowing down, slowing right down. Yeah. So just all that activity, all that mental activity, it's just slowing right down. So, just kind of turning off the lights in that cortex over there. So the CPU is, powering down, just shutting down, and we're left with just kind of a chillness. Like it's just like relaxing. So it's almost like there's a breeze, a cool breeze of chillness just kind of coalescing and gelling down into your brain, and you are just relaxed. You're relaxed for a couple minutes. So I'm relaxed now, and I'm gonna, I don't have to do any thinking. I'm just relaxed, and I'm just gonna take a few breaths. So just feel that, relaxation seeping in. It's almost like, you can imagine maybe gas molecules move around faster, and then there's if they're in their refrigerator, then they slow down a little bit, and now they're in the freezer. It's not moving around as fast, and they're just chilling right down. So it's like a chill vibe, a chill feeling. And for me, it's still there. Even though I'm talking, it's just I think a lot of back and forth, the extraneous thoughts, just kind of being curtailed a bit. And I'm okay with there being less mental activity. I'm allowing the this kind of chillness to set in. Yeah, and I guess for those, listening to the replay, if they want, they can, continue in that, chill vibe, and it may last for a couple minutes, or you may be able to, maintain it if your intent is to stay in that chillness. But I'm gonna kind of come out of the vibe and kind of open my eyes. And so Jen, did you notice any like a chill vibe over there?
Definitely. Yeah. It was like yesterday I went into the local supermarket and uh, it was really cool and pleasant, because the outdoors right now is like 90 degrees, so and humid. So going into the air conditioning was lovely. That's what you're reminding me of today.
Ah, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, my overall feeling is just a natural, very chill feeling right now. Yeah, it doesn't take any effort or anything. Yeah, it's just there.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm glad you felt it. That's exactly what I was going for. Okay, good. So we will draw to a close um, over here, and I will I'll be proceeding into Albuquerque. If I get a chance, I'll put together a little video about about Albuquerque. It'll probably be like 75% travelogue and 25%, energy and meditation. Um,
Yeah, I want to
um,
encourage you to stop often and stretch and yoga size uh, and qigong size. Yeah.
that helps. And yeah, I've just been moving straight through, so I think that'll be good in this part of the trip. So yeah, so Jay Baba, thank you, Jen, and everybody who watches.
Jay Baba, Jay Baba
So,
Jonah and everybody who's watching. Yeah.
yeah.